There comes a point in every man's journey when he decides, not out of anger, frustration, or clarity, but simply out of choice, to embrace silence. And when he does, the world around him shifts. She never expected you to remain silent forever. She thought you'd call back, that you'd break, that you'd come rushing like you always did before, but this time you didn't. You stayed silent, calm, unshaken. And that silence? It speaks louder than any words could. It resonates, not because you're playing games, but because you've finally realized your worth. This is the power of detachment, the strength of Stoicism. As Marcus Aurelius once said, if any external thing pains you, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your judgment about it. In the past, maybe her words stung, or perhaps she left you feeling lost and frustrated. You might have wanted to fix things, to seek closure, to prove your value. But the truth they never told you, chasing never heals, it only postpones the lesson. So you chose silence. By withdrawing your energy, your words, your presence, something unexpected started to happen. Peace. Not because you're cold-hearted, but because you finally understood that your worth isn't measured by how many texts you send, but by the standards you hold for yourself. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." You thought she'd notice if you pulled away. You thought she wouldn't care. But now, in your silence, she does. Not because you're playing a game, but because your energy no longer feeds her ego. Let's face it, most men panic when a woman pulls back. They over-communicate, apologize, beg for attention. But the Stoic man, he does the opposite. He knows that silence is strength, that emotional control is the highest form of masculinity. He doesn't flood her inbox, he doesn't beg, he doesn't act from a place of need. Instead, he turns inward. Why? Because he understands that real power comes from stillness. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond. Silence isn't passive, it's an active control over your emotions, and that silence forces people to feel your absence. This is where the shift happens. She starts to wonder, why isn't he chasing? Did he really let go? Was I not enough? Not because you're trying to hurt her, but because your energy no longer fuels her need for validation. This silence isn't about revenge, it's about revelation. It shows both her true nature and the man you are becoming. Now let's bring this to real life. You've been through the no contact phase. You're working on yourself, reading, training, growing. And yet, there's always the temptation to break the silence. We live in a world where instant communication is the norm. Messages, likes, replies. If you don't respond quickly, people assume you've ghosted them. But Stoicism teaches you to resist that pressure. A woman expects you to fold when she pulls back, to react, to chase. But the moment you don't, when you stay silent without bitterness and focus on your purpose over persuasion, something changes. You become unpredictable, mysterious, a man of control. And women feel it. They sense the absence of neediness, the lack of desperation. It's like air leaving the room. And that's when curiosity transforms into attraction. Here's the key. You don't go silent to manipulate. You go silent to protect your peace. You go silent because you've finally accepted a profound truth. Your presence is a privilege. Your energy is valuable. Not everyone deserves access to it. There's a difference between ignoring someone and removing your energy from those who took it for granted. Silence is a boundary, not a weapon. You're not punishing her. You're prioritizing yourself. And that is the most attractive energy a man can radiate, focused detachment. One day, she'll wonder why you stopped trying. She'll revisit your last messages, scroll through old memories, and she'll realize that the man who used to chase her no longer needs to, because you didn't just go silent. You evolved. You healed. You mastered the storm within and became the calm she never saw coming. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Be the man who doesn't chase validation. Be the man who isn't shaken by distance. Be the man who says more with silence than others do with paragraphs. She didn't expect you to go silent forever, but now that you have, she sees what she lost. And more importantly, you see what you've gained. This is the Stoic path. This is your return to power.